the reporters.
But you were asked.
So, just in case you want to look at that. Hey, give me.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's not. We won't. I don't know if they can hear. So let's.
You know what? I'll mute myself until you go on.
Oh, good. It's working. It's working. Okay. So now I'm going to go and switch to another video picture. Do you see the picture of the pool?
Yes. It's beautiful.
We like that pool.
You're making us jealous.
Oh, now you want to be jealous? There you go. That's jealous.
I love when the people ask you about when will you go to Golden Oak. Well, I would say to them,
when you buy one.
I'm there.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, I would just. I've shown that place a lot, but we could talk about it. It's sort of yeah. A lot of times they were looky-loos, but anyway.
It's always about show me the money.
Okay. And we'll be going up soon.
No problem. So should I mute us until you put it?
Don't mute it.
All right.
Just in case.
Yes. Okay.
And now we're going to start the intro. Don't want to leave Disney World? Want to live at Disney World? I'll make it a realty reality. Everything from Dr. Phillips to Davenport, Claremont to Kissimmee, Winter Garden or Windermere, and Disney's own Celebration at Golden Oak. I'm Realtor Victor Naraki, and right now it's Disney at your doorstep. Hey! It worked! My technology worked. How are you? Good. Okay, we've already got some people watching, apparently. 50 people watching. So if you're watching, just sign in. Today we're talking about living near Disney World. And if you have any questions, like it says at the bottom, just ask a question. So I'm talking today, I'm Realtor Victor Naraki, and I am talking today with two of my future customers who I will be working with. And we're going to go through a little bit of the process and talk about what they're looking for. I'm probably going to find out some things that I forgot or need to reaffirm or something. So as we're doing this, if you have any questions, just ask. So how's everything going there in New York?
Okay.
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. We actually got outside today. Alyssa was out for the first time in many, many weeks. And we took our bicycle built for two, which we haven't used in maybe 20 years, cleaned it off and went for a ride.
Isn't that nice? You know, that's the one nice thing about this is, but not making any money and worrying about your friends is not. But at least I'm trying to get out there a little bit more. I'm walking around the block and stuff. I should have started it from the very beginning. So anyway, today I went up to Northern Winter Garden. I know we've been there. And I went to the farmer's market, which was still open, but they had social distancing. And so I was shopping around and stuff. It's just a really, I love that area if I didn't want to be right near Disney, because obviously it's a 30-minute drive to Disney. It took me 30 minutes to get back here from the other side of Winter Garden. So, but the reason I bring that up is because we are talking about, look who's there.
Hi, R. John.
Isn't that great? So we're going to be talking today about living near Disney World, and and also, but specifically Winter Garden.
Beautiful Winter Garden.
Okay, so what I wanted to stop screen. Wait. Okay, hold on. Every time they make you go and do an application window, boom, share. Okay, there's Winter Garden. Okay, so speaking of Winter Garden is this entire, my mouse is really small on this, but Winter Garden is this entire area right here, right? And it also goes down all the way to Kissimmee, which is down here, right? About, yeah, even further. Wow. Yeah, so it's right about here. So it's a huge place. So when people say, what do you, what do you know, what's Winter Garden like? My answer is, which section of Winter Garden? I mean, there's so many. So I was up in what they call the historical section today. And for historical, anything in Florida is like 100 years old. That's historical, unless you're in St. Augustine. But, that was where they had all the packing plants and everything. And for people who don't know about it, it's a great little shopping and eating area up there. And that's right here about, right? Yes, right here. So it's right off what they call Plant Street. So, someone's saying, I don't know what that, so my friend's saying, and I don't know what that means. Okay, so it's right off of Plant Street. That's the older section of Winter Garden. But what everybody's talking about now is this section right here, Horizon West. Now, Disney itself is 44 square miles. Esther will be able to tell me if that's true. But Horizon West is 33 square miles. So all this area was just sort of undeveloped. There was orange groves and all that and wonderful things, but it wasn't developed for living until now. So what was it about this area that you liked?
We liked the closeness to Disney and the neighborhood we were looking at. The pools were gorgeous, resort pools. It has mini golf, tennis, volleyball, and the houses were really nice.
Well, the majority of the homes in Winter Garden that are selling now are, there's one development with 2,000 new homes. There's other, and all these developments have like at least 500 homes each in many cases. So there's, in mine, I think there's like 400 about new homes. And they're all new in the last 3 years. So I personally, if you can't find a resale that you like, a new construction is a great option if you want to, because who would think that near Disney, there's all these brand new homes? I would have thought that land was eaten up years ago. And Dan is saying, turn up the volume on your guest.
I just turned it up. Is that better, Dan?
Dan is good. Anyway, but for those of you who aren't familiar with Winter Garden, it's just to the west. I always have to think. The west of Disney World. So it actually even wraps around at Reams Road. It comes up and it's sort of, so when you go out of Disney World at Reams Road or Western Way, you go right into Winter Garden. So
yes, it's actually we have connections to the Disney World family. Our son actually is a cast member there, and his apartment is in Windermere, but we drove, and he took us around behind Space Mountain, making a left turn, going past where they keep the trains and they keep the monorail. And we headed down Reams Road,
Yep.
to Seidel Road. And in a blink of an eyelash, when we went with Victor a few months ago, we were there in no time. So literally, you would think that you're far from Disney. Wow, how can you live that close? But from Disney's backyard, and I'm sure many of you have seen the fireworks, it's amazing. The homes are so close to the Magic Kingdom that you would never imagine that. And I had to start looking at the actual maps to believe that people could actually live that close, and they do.
I know. Now I lived in Celebration, and you could hear the fireworks, but there was no real chance of. You could see them from certain vantage points, but the way I see it, a lot of the communities around here can see fireworks. Even up in the older section. I was up at Plant Street and Daniels Road, and that's where that big Baptist church is. And when you turn down at 9 o'clock, I used to, after maybe going to the theater or something, I was there. 9 o'clock, you could see the fireworks right in the sky. It was absolutely. Oh, now Richard's making everybody jealous. Richard, I sold them a house in Windermere. He can see the fireworks from his house as well. So.
Well, we would absolutely think that when Richard and Donna and Sam made their plans, that Disney would be involved in it and that they would see the fireworks, just like you, Victor. And you know, Victor was so kind to us when we went during Christmas time. January. We went January, and he took us for 2 days to see the different areas. And we went to where Victor went this morning, to a different area. That's about 35 minutes from Disney World. But the things that change, which we noticed, and we are New Yorkers, I guess you could all recognize the accent. We live in Long Island, and we live on the South Shore of Long Island, not too far away from New York City. And I'm a musician. We were both New York City high school teachers. We're not, we're not ready to live in Orange Grove country or farm country. We are city people. We do live in the suburbs. So we're not looking for something that's in the middle of what we consider nowhere. So when we went out to this area,
it was beautiful.
It was the houses that Victor showed us are magnificent. So if you don't care about living closer in to the Disney World area, these homes are magnificent.
Yes, and the price, you get away, the better prices you get.
Right, the prices and what you get for them are just incredible. But the more we thought about it, and we spoke to Victor right away, the more we realized that living a half hour, 35 minutes away from Disney, the further you go, the less populated it is, and the less chance of seeing city people like us. Although we do, like I said, we live in the suburbs, but we are from Brooklyn. We are born and bred from Brooklyn. We've lived out here for about 25 years. The further you go, the less chance of meeting people who know where you come from. And so it's a little bit different. So where we looked, there's a spot where we looked that's right at the end of Windermere that Victor took us to, where literally
Winter Garden.
No, that was Windermere, the Mattamy homes. Oh, that was literally nice. Outside. You drove 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes to Space Mountain from these homes, and you hear the fireworks. You see them.
They're right overhead. You look. You have to stretch your neck and look up to see the fireworks. It's amazing.
but a small development. A
Well,
small
you know,
development.
it is. And you know what? I was thinking of living there. Here's something that's interesting. I was thinking of buying there, or when I saw this lot available, I took this lot. Otherwise, I was going to be in that community, and it's a great community. But I wanted a grocery store in bicycle riding distance. I
Right.
just thought that would be such a great thing, because I may be 50 soon. Anyway,
Same here.
it's coming. But so they announced that there was going to be a Publix down the road and within a mile of me. I measured it. I went out there and measured how, walked it. Okay, this is good. All right, measured it with my car. Today they announced there's no grocery store.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Now, sure, it's a Walgreens and a bunch of, there's Papa John's Pizza, which is my least favorite pizza place. And, but there's going to be something. They said maybe a Dunkin' Donuts and a Starbucks. I'd rather a Dunkin' Donuts because their coffee's cheaper. And no fast food, which I would have liked some fast food because then I want to put coffee there. But, it's the sort of thing where if it's not built, it's not going to be there.
Right.
Just-
We have to convince.
and-
We have to convince some of our pizza owners from up here to come down south to teach the Southerners how to make real pizza, because
Yes.
our
yes.
son's friend went to Brooklyn today, and he went to a special place and brought back a half a pie, and this place is known throughout the world. It's called L&B Spumoni Gardens.
Mm.
If they opened the place down by you, Victor, you'd never have to worry about Papa John's again, Domino's, because this is the real deal. We know pizza.
Well, there's a really good chain that I like called Flippers Pizza here.
Ah,
And there's also in Windermere, which is not far from me at all. It's probably like 10 minutes. There's a place called Stromboli's, which is supposed to be New York pizza.
beautiful.
Well, it's not good as Ray's Pizza in Greenwich Village.
Right,
but,
right.
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You can't have everything.
The reason why we want to be close to Disney is because we plan on going there a couple of times a week.
Well, what the thing is about locals is, see, that's what I tell people. I say, they say, oh, well, I want to go to Disney a lot. And I'm like, well, okay, great. Where do you want to live? Well, Lakeland. And I'm like, well, Lakeland's going to take you an hour, and they're like, well, that's okay. I go, yeah, but if it's an hour away, you're only going to go on special occasions when you have the whole day to do it. We go in, we park our car. And if you're at, Hollywood Studios, you park your car. This is memories.
No crying.
Don't worry. Things will get better. We promise.
You park your car, you go in for a couple of hours. I used to go to the ABC commissary in Hollywood Studios and just zip in there, have a little meal, hit 2 rides and leave.
That's what we plan on doing.
And if you book your rides like the day before or something like that, or a couple days before, you book 3 rides. I used to come towards the end of the first Fast Pass, go get something to eat, go to the next Fast Pass, and then go to one more Fast Pass and be out.
Well, we have many connections to the Disney World community. Before we met our friends who are in the chat and others, I'm a musician, and I'm a professional trumpet player, and we're both retired teachers. And for many years, when I was younger, I always thought about the prospect of trying to play in Disney World. My family, my mom lives in Fort Lauderdale. My aunt and uncle were in the first condo down south in Hollywood. So we've had Floridians in our family for many years now, for probably 50 years. And you know, the connection is great there. Now I
It's
can't see
awesome.
myself anymore going marching in 90-degree, 100-degree heat at my age. You know, so I don't mind that. But what we do want to do is
Mhm.
be able to get out of our house, get in the car, drive 15, 20 minutes, walk, do our exercise. We don't need a gym. We don't need a gym. We
You
just
don't. You walk
walk.
around it. You walk around Epcot.
Yes, we want to walk. Our joy is walking.
Now, here's the thing. You don't stop in the Americas for a funnel cake if you're trying to exercise.
No funnel cake.
That is what kills every Floridian.
Yeah.
We go, oh, we're going to exercise in Disney World, and then you're there with the funnel cake.
No funnel cakes and no margaritas.
So let me ask you something. We saw a couple of homes, and definitely like Donna, she bought a resale, and because it really fit her needs. She had the master down and all that. Hello,
Lovely
Donna, I hope
home,
you don't
yeah.
mind me talking about you. But you're looking specifically at new construction.
The
So
reason-
what is now? And that's what I did too.
Okay, the reason being, this
Mhm.
house we living in now is built in 1962. So we had to do a lot of work on it. And I want something new that you don't have to first start knocking down walls and then doing everything. I want it
Yeah,
done.
yeah, I know, because I had a house built in 1961, and it was my very first house. And I honestly would never recommend a resale house if it's the first house you've ever bought, because my God, that was the worst, and nothing was up to the current codes. Because you can always sell a house if it's not up to code, but you can't build a house not up to code.
Right.
Well,
Like I got my electric bill here is the same as at a house that I had that was half the size.
that's another thing, the bills. On Long Island, we pay one of the highest bills. But where we live, aren't any new houses.
Or if there are new houses,
They're in the millions.
they're in the millions of dollars. The house, like what I texted you this afternoon when you were up north,
Mhm.
that house would have been easily $2 to $3 million where we live in South Merrick, Long Island, and the taxes would be $30,000
or more.
and
Oh my God.
you know, so you're talking about a different reality, especially for folks who are getting to the point where they're retired.
Yeah.
Now we're retired, but we do have two sons, one that goes to school in Miami, the other one that works in Disney World. And as you all know, and I'm sorry, Deanna, I don't want to make you sad, but we know that it's closed and he is now furloughed. So mom and dad are still here, just like all of you folks who have kids, taking care of their children.
Mhm.
So if Robbie doesn't have enough money because Disney has furloughed him, mom and dad are here. So
Yeah, it gives you the room.
right, paying taxes, you know, paying $15,000 a year on a quarter of an acre in a 62 house built in 1962. And our house is lovely. We've redone a lot of it. It's just a major job to upkeep it.
Mhm.
And what makes where we live so desirable are the schools. The schools here are phenomenal. So you don't have to send your children to private schools.
Yep.
Alyssa and I are not in that position anymore. We're looking for the house. We don't have to worry that much about the schools.
Yeah.
And what we saw when you took us to Horizon West,
Beautiful.
you know, it's just, it's another world.
It is. It
It's
is.
fresh. It's new. Where you live, it's fresh. It's new.
Well, you were in my house the day they put in the cabinets.
Yes, yes. We saw frame. We saw your house with frame.
I'm like going, you're talking to me, and I'm going like, yeah, okay, whatever. What'd you say? I'm like looking at my cabinets, going like, oh yeah, but it's
It's like buying a new car. It's a great feeling to smell the new house smell, the new car smell. So we've been living here.
Well, let me
25
tell you
years.
something about new house smell. I do love it, but you've got to air out the house.
Yes.
And I had this, and I don't get rashes.
Oh no.
I had a rash all over my body. And I was talking, and I had to do a conversation like this with the dermatologist. And she's like, so what kind of changes? And I said, oh, nothing. I moved into a new house, but I've done that before. And she goes, is it a new construction house? And I went, yeah. And she goes, okay. That's what it is. And
Well,
you know,
yeah, the wood, they use treated wood.
everything. Well, you just got to air it out. I mean,
Right.
and that's, so I got a filter for the air conditioner. That's a healthy filter, took out all the microbes, and now it's fine. But it's one thing you have to think about that I mean, I've sold so many new construction houses and none of my customers have ever mentioned anything about reacting to it. And I'm not someone who reacts to the environment. I'll see people coughing and stuff and I'm going like, yeah, I don't know, what's bothering you, you know? But this just sort of hit me. So it's just a matter, and really, she was right. She goes, air it out for 15 minutes.
Are you sure it wasn't the alligators in the backyard? You were allergic to them?
Yes, I'm allergic to the alligators. I shouldn't wrestle them. That's the problem.
You got to stop wrestling the alligators.
Well, let me show you. Now, I want to show you a home that hopefully maybe by the time this is something we didn't get to look at. And the thing is right now, unfortunately, because of what's going on, there is going to be a tendency for people who have built their new construction home and it's 6 months down the line, 8 months, they've been waiting a year sometimes, that when it gets close, and if their job has changed or they're on furlough, which they call it, they may have to walk away from the sale. So we may find a little bit more inventory homes coming up. And I find in this industry, those are the best prices. That's when you get good prices on homes.
And certainly when you're selling your home and people want, when they want buy it and they want to move in, you don't have, I mean, you can rent, but truthfully, Alyssa and I, when we move, we don't want to move again. We have many things. Mm-hmm. And once we do it, we want to go and be done.
Move right in.
And move right in and settle in and start our new lives.
Well, I want to show you this floor plan we actually did not get a chance to look at. And this is at the one community we didn't go to because your feeling is you're just like me. You would have been perfect. My model home is exactly what you should have bought.
Yes.
Exactly. It's got a downstairs bedroom that's not the master with a full step-in shower. It's got a dining room area because some of these dining rooms are all separated, or not separated. They're all conjoined into one open floor plan. And that really didn't appeal to you. You wanted a separated area for your dining room. But this one does have the dining room joined together. But if you look up here, it's got a full bedroom. And then it's got a full bath with a tub. Right. So before we go and buy anything, this is in Mattamy. Now, Mattamy's
that's the other Mattamy.
That's
Hawksmoor.
Yeah.
Right, Hawksmoor.
I've actually sold one of these. That's going to be done the end of the year. This community has a view of the fireworks. Now, it's not like as bold as mine. You see it out in the distance. So that is a really good. So Jamie's saying that's a nice layout. Yeah, it really. You know what? Mattamy has really good use of space, I find.
Downtown were nice also.
Yeah, the houses we saw by Disney World were beautiful. And the interesting thing is the use of space. Like, although I do love the vaulted ceiling that you have downstairs, when the second floor.
You want to buy my house?
Ah,
You
we're not
just-
kicking you out. You like your house.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Or when they open up that space, that's living space. And if it's not open like that, the bedrooms upstairs could be bigger.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and yes, and the that extra room, the game room, whatever they call it, is larger.
the loft.
The loft.
Loft, yep.
So but you have the beautiful light coming in. So there's trade-offs.
Yeah.
There's trade-offs,
Mhm.
but the use of space is different. You know, it's just a different use of space.
Well, here's the thing about my house. I wish I could show a picture of it right now, but I do have a high atrium in here.
Yes.
And if I wanted, when I was ordering it, my big desire was to have the make use of the view of the fireworks with the big lanai.
Right.
If I wanted that, what you talk about, sealing that up, it was actually only like $25,000 to put a bathroom in as well.
Wow.
So I wish I could have done it, but I didn't want to pay another couple of years on a mortgage.
Right.
So I went, without it. The thing is about these decisions you make when you're buying a new house and ordering it, they're lasting decisions.
That's why we're glad that we're going to be forced to do an inventory home.
And it is what it is, and you don't have any regrets.
Right.
We'll see what
Yeah.
it looks like.
The
and
kitchen will be the kitchen.
Mhm.
Colors of the walls will be the colors of the walls. The floors will be the floors. The carpet will be the carpet. And we will be happy because in the end, we want to move there. And we're looking forward to it. And of course, this scenario we're going through right now has put a bit of a halt on it. But, we will get there. For those of you, I see New Jersey folks in there or whatever. Stay safe, please be careful. But you know what we're dealing with in New York and New Jersey. But
Yeah.
it will come a point very soon, hopefully, where we'll mellow out and Disney will reopen. Victor will be happy. The fireworks will be in the backyard again. But we're very happy to go ahead and look at an inventory home. As far as buying something where somebody else lives currently and looking at a house like that, we're very uncomfortable with people coming into our home, especially now. We're lucky we have a buyer that we know already, and we hope that continues because we don't have to have open houses and we don't have to have people coming in
Well,
and
that's
invading
great.
our privacy.
Yeah. That's
When you
great.
have people coming in, it's a different thing because not you, Victor, but the realtors say we don't want you home. Well, what do you do with all your valuables? What do you do with your cats? What do you do with my trumpets? What do we do with
Well,
the
that you make such a great point here. I got to tell you. So that's why when people say to me, "I'm just looking," well, yeah, well, you're just looking. Well, I'm not taking you into somebody's house where they're living there. That is so ridiculously rude.
It's an invasion.
Because we did have people come originally, and we were cleaning for hours and hours and tiring out ourselves.
And then they walk out and they go, "Well, thank you. We're just looking."
Yeah, that's what they said. Oh, we're not ready yet. And
Excuse me, they think that you're supposed to just, and I had one where the person had to, if they go, the agent said, "Are they serious?" Because this person has to board their dog every time they show the property. I'm like, well, that's terrible. If
Yes,
you're just looking, if you're serious, no problem. But you get a lot of people looky-loos, and that is like one of the worst things. I can't even imagine why people do that. But I wanted to point out here, if anybody wants to go to my website and check out, I'll put the link up later, but it's celebratingflorida.com. So if you want to look at other properties and stuff like that. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, you're lucky if you could sell it that way. You really are.
Yes, and in case you folks, you're wondering, why do we want to move from where we are? Now, Victor always says it when he talks about the weather, and certainly Elissa and I are looking forward to not having the bad winters. I have no problem parting with my huge 10,000 horsepower snowblower. I know there are folks who love the snow. Please don't get offended. But we've lived here our whole lives. As a musician, I've been in Manhattan, in the big city. I mean, the big city, thousands and thousands of times. I'm ready not to be in the big city anymore. I have no problem with that at this point. We are ready to move to an area where there are things for us to do, where the word joy is attached to it. It's not as intense. The intensity level, yes, it is intense to go into the parking lot in the Magic Kingdom and have to wait for a while to go through security and all that stuff. But that's a lot different than getting on the Long Island Expressway, going through the Midtown Tunnel, and trying to find a parking spot or a parking lot in the city. Unless you've been in New York and been in the city, Disney World is a joke. This is a completely different reality. And of course, you can look on the news today and the city is empty. But I can guarantee you, in a couple of months from now, when things go back to semi-normal, the city will be crazy. Yes, people might be wearing masks and gloves, but there will be thousands and thousands and thousands of people and thousands of cabs and cars. Now, that is not what you see in Winter Garden. Go back to
Yeah. For me, people always complain about the traffic here, and there are certain areas that are high traffic. That are high traffic. Everybody knows the I-4, but they're working on that. So I was saying I'm looking forward to the traffic returning, because that means people are okay again,
Sure. But think about it, when you're driving on I-4, like for us, when we land at the airport, or when we used to take the train, when you're on I-4, where are you going when you're visiting?
Disney.
You're going to the most magical place on earth. So when you see the sign,
or Universal
or whatever,
SeaWorld,
and you see the signs for SeaWorld and Universal and Disney World, and the closer you get, even if you're in the traffic,
I know.
What you're thinking about is you're where you want to be.
Exactly.
This is what makes you happy. And it's not for everybody. We know that. I have friends who think you guys are crazy. Why do you want to be with the mouse? They make fun of the mouse. You know what?
Who are these people?
Yeah.
We love the mouse.
We love the mouse.
I want names.
New Yorkers have tough skin. It's hard to make them understand certain things. But in the end, I'm sure many of them will be coming to visit us.
Well, let me tell you something. We need New Yorkers, New Jersey, Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. We need all those people to start coming down here, because we need some normal people. I don't know what it is about Florida. Maybe if you've lived here too long, your brain, but everybody knows Florida man ends up in the news. Florida man, Lynn is saying up here that she bought 5 acres, 25 miles. I'd be very interested to know what town you bought those in. Because we have another person, Melanie, who's asking, I'll have to get back to her.
Buy land.
If you want to buy land to build a home on 10 years from now, that can have its advantages and its disadvantages, because you're going to be paying taxes on the land, maybe paying off. I wouldn't get it if you had to buy it with a loan. I don't think you can get a loan on just land. But if that area is going to really build up, you could probably find a small lot around here, depending on the price you wanted to pay. There's a great section called just south of Disney called Happy Trails. and it's all like little farms. They're all 5-acre lots. You could build 3 structures on there, which I think is amazing. And the last time I was there, I don't remember the exact prices. It was very reasonable for 5 acres near Disney World. So,
well, and the interesting thing is, like when we talk about McAllister Landing, which you took us to, and we've discussed this with you, in 10 years from now, that might be completely changed. It might be way more developed than it is now, because when you get out of that area, it's old Florida, which is not bad for certain people. But
it's very well kept.
Right. No, it's beautiful. The willow trees are there. It's gorgeous.
I love it there. I drive around there and look at the homes. They're really just, it's just something beautiful. It really is a beautiful area. But yeah,
we're looking for, like where you live is a new development, where Jess showed us those homes. Those are magnificent developments. See where we live right now. If we rode our bicycle today, and the bumps that we hit from the potholes were horrific. So to see brand new streets, people like us think about that.
Oh yeah.
Streets where your car does not get destroyed, where when you're riding your bicycle, you don't have to worry about being engulfed in a hole that you'll never come out of. And this is brand new.
I know. It's really nice.
And plus our main street, it only really fits 1 lane down.
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
the only one that goes through. So
and it's a 2-way street.
You have to, go to the edge for someone to pass. Two ways can't go down.
Oh man.
Built it. I guess they didn't figure that there'd be so many cars.
See, now Aaron says there's no potholes in Florida. Yes, Aaron. We know.
We have potholes everywhere. You have to just look when you're driving down, because there's like thousands.
They can't fix the streets fast enough here. And we actually drove our son when he was doing the Disney College program. Alyssa and I had never made the drive down together, and we drove. And we rented a minivan, and we went through potholes, and the further south we went, the nicer the roads got, until we got into Florida, where there are no potholes. And then Victor took us by his house, which was just being built. Well, in streets that are just being built with houses brand new, there's no potholes, and there's no potholes on the highways. So it's just another attraction to getting away from the cold weather, where they have to use salt, and the roads get destroyed every year, no matter what they do. And you know what? There comes a point where you don't want your back and neck rattled. you want to drive over something that's smooth. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got something from my friend that says someone drank, a Florida man drank a bottle of rubbing alcohol to take care of COVID-19. No. That's terrible.
You see,
Poor guy.
That's a tough one.
We do have, with all you say that's good, we have some weird people.
You know what? That's
they're
why
entertaining. All I can say is they're entertaining.
Michigan roads. Somebody wrote Michigan.
Michigan roads. Yeah. Well, we haven't been in Michigan in a long time. That's pretty far from where we live. We do have relatives in Chicago, which is not too far from Michigan, and the city of Chicago probably has the same potholes. But going down south where it's warm is a completely different ball game.
Cleaner.
It's cleaner.
Definitely cleaner.
And if you have any bones that ache, those achy bones, they will not hurt as much. I mean, there's a reason why many people who retire, I don't want to call them old folk because that'll make me old, but there's a reason they go there. They go there to feel better.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's a nice house you're showing us right there.
This is in Waterley.
Yes.
Now, Waterley is a D.R. Horton.
I think we have that one.
this is the Kenton model that I want to show you when things get available. But the one good thing we were talking about this with this builder is that they are the only ones that do block on block construction.
No good.
Now builders will always told me, oh, all you need is the block on the bottom. And I would say, yes, but in Miami, they do it block on block. So why do they do it here, block on frame?
It's cheaper.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons I really like this builder here. So anytime anyway, so
That's a
anyway,
beautiful house.
yeah, it is. It is. Now, a lot of times, one thing that annoys me about this is that they have so many pictures of the community center and no pictures of the inside, which really bugs me.
I
Right.
have
So
here though.
I don't know why they do this. There's why do I need to see 62 pictures of the community center?
Well,
I
they
know when I was
actually,
looking.
I don't know if online they have it. I don't know if you could see it, but this is the floor plan right here of the Kenton.
Yes.
We were good students. We kept all our paperwork. So this is the floor plan. And there are different styles of the house. If you look in the front.
That's good. Now, for those who are watching, when I say to you, what elevation do you like? It's what type of front do you like on the house? So,
Right.
yeah, so there's 3 different ones. But of course, if you're buying it as an inventory home, you're going to get what you get.
Exactly. And usually I would assume that many of the inventory homes are not going to be the more expensive fronts. But you know what?
No, not necessarily true, because someone may have, here's what I find with inventory. People, that's the one time that builders are really a little bit more flexible to deal with you. To
Right.
come up with it when they have something that is, and if you make it, listen, it's like anything that you buy.
Right.
If
Now,
you're buying a car, they don't let you leave the showroom if they could get their manager to approve that price.
right. Now,
So if you start, I always like to start walking towards the door. Okay, well, we're going to think about it, but if you could go with this,
Well, this is with Waterley. Look at these pools.
Oh, well, let's go back to the thing. I'll show you.
That looks like a hotel.
Well, and what I like about Waterley, they're look at that. And they've got two community centers like this, and their HOA fees are under $200 a month. Plus, it includes lawn care for your lawn.
right.
Now, I pay, because I buy it individually, I pay $110 a month for my lawn care.
Right. That's what we pay here.
But I know if I got a lawnmower and did it myself, it would not look that good.
No.
Right.
Which is
Now,
a bummer.
when we went to this area, the rep showed us.
We're not on right now.
Yeah, yes, we are. The rep showed us this one. This is called the Tory. Now, the
Oh
Tory
yeah, I almost bought a Tory.
is magnificent.
That has a lot.
And the floor plan is really.
I should have pulled that up before we start. Yeah,
That's okay,
yeah.
but I mean, it's a little bit more money, but it's not that much more money. And, unfortunately or fortunately, with bad times, there's some good things and obviously horrific things, but the mortgage rates have gone down.
Haven't they? Oh my God, I can't.
Never been in
Yeah.
history.
Yeah,
So,
and let me tell you, if you're getting a loan, some of the builders right now are saying, we're going to instead of giving you money off the home, we're going to give you money towards points to pay down the interest rate on the mortgage.
That is
right. And some of them are even paying the closing costs.
Oh yeah.
Dreamfinders Homes sends us an email every 3 or 4 days from McAllister Landing. What they're willing to do right now to get us to come up there and buy a home. And I'm not talking about a small home. 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, 3-car garage. There were 2 hot water heaters, 2 air conditioner systems, a TV room upstairs, an extra kitchen.
It had a
These homes
kitchen.
were magnificent.
Wow.
It's
I know. It's just amazing what you can get just a few miles away. You just start driving, like it's like 25 minutes away from where I live. But yeah, and you get all these extra things, or you get a house that's under, I've seen houses under 200
Right.
far away. You can't get anything under 200 around here. Probably 270 are some really cute little houses down right at the border of Kissimmee. Love
Believe
those
me.
things.
Well, the
Sold
houses
3 in
that-
that community.
the homes you went to today. If Alyssa and I had a rich uncle that said, "Hey, Alyssa and Neil, here's a check," believe me, when they build the houses 10 minutes from Disney World, we would be the first ones online.
Yeah.
But you have to stay, like you said, within your means.
You have to, and you know what's so good about being married, you two, is that you have someone with you who will pull you back to reality. And
Pulling us away
when
from
I
reality.
thought, I am absolutely thrilled with my house. I absolutely love it. But when I was there, I was envying my customers who brought someone with them. Because I was like, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah. And that's when you inventory, it is what it is. The only thing you're going to do is work on the price.
Well,
Yeah.
so now when we went and we couldn't see this home, the Tory, but we did go to where they build them, and there's a section called the estate section.
Yeah.
And we're not particularly thrilled, and Victor knows this, about being near water. See, we live 1,000 yards from the water, and after
you've had issues, yeah.
right after the hurricane, our homeowners insurance got canceled, so we had to then go and find homeowners insurance. A huge part of our mortgage, we pay our homeowners and our taxes through our mortgage, is our homeowners insurance. So, you kind of then say you don't want to be near the water. These estate homes, they are near water, but the water is far away.
Yeah.
It's far away. And I don't think that's going to affect that. And then people were asking us,
well, how much do you pay can you mind me asking how much you pay for insurance?
it's probably right now around, we do have incredible insurance. We have $1 million umbrella, and
Okay. That's it.
we have an umbrella, but we pay probably around $3,000 a year. And we have flood, which we do not need, but we have
FEMA.
we have FEMA flood.
Okay. I pay now. I don't have the umbrella. I have my umbrella separately in my Geico, which is only $200, which I thought is great.
Right.
But I pay $1,000, $850 a year.
You see now,
Isn't the umbrella through
and
also?
it's
the other one?
interesting because
And that's for hurricane too, but you have a deductible. If the roof goes off, you have to pay $5,000 of it.
okay, I mean, but okay, we had to replace our roof.
Recently.
We replaced our roof, and it was
Last year.
$15,000. So if they're going to cover 10,000 of it, and you're stuck with 5,000, if that's you have to balance it out, because you can pay down your
And then you get a brand new roof.
right, and you can pay down your deductible, Victor. I mean, if you want to pay more of a premium, so it's a gamble. It's like it's gambling. You're gambling. So we take the least gamble because we don't know what's going to happen over here. We do live close to the water. People behind us flooded. People to the side of us flooded. We didn't. But so the water is a little bit weird. And then people thought we were weird. Remember, we're New Yorkers. Why do you have to have your bedroom on the second floor? And Victor, you heard this.
That's what I got.
Master
bedroom on the second floor. I asked them what's the smallest model I can get with the master on the second floor, and he said the Mosley, and I said I'll take it.
Right, because in the end, you don't
I,
want
I like that too. I don't like being on the first
Right.
floor.
if somebody when we use the word, if somebody breaks into your house, first of all, the Floridian house people first right away said, what do you mean break into your house? Well, we're New Yorkers. I explained it to them. If
Yeah.
somebody breaks into my home, I want to hear them, and I want to have time to be prepared. If they're coming in, that I can do something about it. If it means grabbing my wife and putting her in front of me,
No, no.
I would never do
No,
that.
I'm saying even like to look out the window, right?
Yeah, exactly. You get a little bit better view.
Right.
I like to look out from the second floor.
It's the same thing when people go to hotels. Most people don't want to be on the first floor of a hotel where people could just walk by and look in.
Exactly.
And your neighbors, in some of these homes, especially if you're getting the smaller homes, when we're looking at this Tory in the estate, there's more property, but the homes are close to each other. And your neighbor.
Yeah, neighbor looks through the window. I've seen houses that are laid out wrong where you're like my house, my neighbor's patio. You always get that though. My neighbor's patio faces my patio. I don't particularly care for that, but that's what I want. I wanted the view, so I had to go with that. But yeah, I see that all the time where you like the bathroom, you get your bathroom window and you don't want to put a covering on it and you look out and there's someone else.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you go, okay, now I got to put a covering.
Who wants to have that happen in the master bathroom on the first floor? Although,
well, let me tell you though, I've always had a 2-story house, and I always always had the bedroom on the second floor. And then when in the 7 months that I was waiting for my house to get done, because my house had sold so quick, I stayed in a 1-story home for really the first time. And you know what? I went, gee, I wish I had tried this before, because I would have and saved like 70 grand. I would have gone for it. But I didn't go for it because I didn't have a familiarity with it.
right.
Well,
So I just say that because sometimes you got to open your mind to different things.
the reason why I like the ones that have second floors is because the first floor ones don't have the extra loft or the game room. And I want a second living area. We have it in this house.
Absolutely.
Living room,
Yeah.
stairs, and a
Well,
den.
no, because they're only going to be, if they're 1-story, generally they're going to be in the 2000s, maybe 1,600 square feet to 2,400 square feet. I mean, so there's really not going to have the ability to have 2 different areas, like you're saying.
Right. Unless you're spending 800,000, $1 million and up, and then you can get a 1 level. We've seen them.
And they go all the way
We've
out.
seen them. They're magnificent, but you have to be able to afford that luxury. And another thing is, just for those of you who don't know, I am a trumpet player, and
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up.
this thing right here brings significant problems because it's loud. And many of our friends said, well, why don't you buy a townhouse or a condo? And I keep looking at them going, guys, that I sit playing my trumpet 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and even during the day. Nobody's ever called the police on me here. I have my own space, and my wife and my kids are upstairs, and they're not getting blown away. So why?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Why would you want 1 level in our I have to be away from them, or I'll
you can have a little extra room that you soundproof a little better too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we're almost over. I can't believe it went so fast. We hit most of the things that I wanted to talk about. So if anybody's watching and they have any question about buying in Florida, just ask me. So anyway, but I'm hoping that you get good words on the sale of your house. But I really do think that even though what's going on is horrible, and God rest their souls, all these people.
Yes.
I mean, I never thought I'd live in the day that there'd be mass graves.
No.
No.
I mean, but
We all deserve better than this.
we
And
do.
let's hope for better days. And for those of you who are in the chat, Alyssa and Neil ask you to come join us if you're really thinking about it, because I can promise you, we know beautiful people there. Some of them have been in the chat, and they've moved from all over the country to this area. And we see Corey Ruprecht in the chat. We've seen him many times in other chats.
Okay.
Yes. In the end, the more folks, like you said before, move to this area, the more comfortable it is going to be for people who are not from Florida. And it is a magnificent area. It is beautiful there. It's beautiful. I mean, look, if you want to live more rural and more urban, you move further out and you get a better deal. And Victor knows those homes. He will.
Thank you.
Victor knows what. We keep in touch with Victor because Victor knows.
He knows exactly.
He
where to
knows
move.
what. When you
Thank you.
tell him what you're looking for, he immediately knows. When we got together with him in January, he did his homework and he put everything together.
Thank you.
And took us for 2 days and drove us all over. I mean, we couldn't.
You didn't get my bill yet, I don't think. It hasn't
waiting for it.
cleared.
Oh, I have to, when I get my mail now, I have to wear gloves. So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll come when I don't have to wear gloves.
Yeah. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Victor, there is no question that as far as honesty and integrity and comfortability rather, I mean, there's just, from the moment we met and spoke, it's obvious. And folks, if you're looking to move,
Thank
and
you.
we'll all get together, like Victor said, we'll get together at Victor's house and watch the fireworks. and we're going to hopefully be in a place that's going to be similar to that. We'll all get together and it'll be a good time.
Do you know my sister, when she came here to help me set up, and she goes, so the view is amazing. I can't believe it. But what happens if they ever stop with the fireworks? And I said, oh no, they're never. Within a week they stopped.
She should have never said that. Alyssa and I have said, are we the jinx? Did we make the jinx? And we're hoping we're not the jinx, that this is going to go away and that people will feel better and we'll start seeing some joy past all this sadness. And and you know what? Seeing that castle again will bring joy to many people. So we're ready. We're ready to go. We're ready. We are ready.
And speaking of which, one of the closest communities, I just got a question, is Story Grove. I think if you're not ready right now, that's fine, because they're still, from what they tell me, they're still going to be entering another phase at Story Grove, but it's not going to be for a while because they are completely sold out. But I can always, Philip, I'll send you a message. I can always look, because the last time I looked was 2 months ago. I called them. Actually, I called for you, and they were all completely sold out.
Right.
But here's the thing: just like I said earlier, people are backing out of sales.
Right.
And I wish they wouldn't. I feel so bad for people, because I know how heartbreaking it is. When I was buying this house, they were screwing up my loan. And at one point they were going, well, we don't know. I said, it was the heartbreak. The heartbreak 2 days before was immense. So I could just imagine what people are going through.
I can't imagine you having your heart set, especially if you have children who you've told are going to be living their Mickey Mouse. and then you have to tell them we can't go there. I mean, it's one thing to move into an area that doesn't have such a special attraction to it, something connected, such a major connection. This is going to be sad, and you know, it's certainly not something that Alyssa and I want to benefit from at all. We would hope and pray that nobody has to make that decision, but if they do, Victor will know, and you know, it'll make life a little bit better for us. And like I said, right now we're getting emails from these places that we went to. They took our email address, and they are making incredible offers.
They are.
Incredible.
They are, because wait, listen, nobody can get down here to look at a house.
Right.
So if you can't get, now I had a customer the other day, and he said, well, can I make it so that we walk through the house the day, you know, a couple days before closing and still be able to walk away. I said, not 25 days out, you know, 10, 15, the max. I could do that. I could write that in the contract. So
Right.
people are not, if they can't get down here, how the heck are they going to go look?
Yep.
So, I mean, if tomorrow you were available to buy, you've already seen it.
Right.
So that was a good, you know, so you probably know.
Yes. And what you said about these homes with the brick on brick, it, besides hurricanes and all that, in the end, listen, we pay Terminex every year. We have a contract with Terminex. So for those of you who know about termites, when you have brick on brick, you don't need Terminex. You don't need Terminex. There's no
Block on
wood.
block. Yeah, exactly.
Block on block. There's no wood. And that will be wonderful. And that's a big savings. I know that you need pest control down there. I understand it's a warm climate, but termites are no fun.
No. Well, I'm going to be paying, starting next year, $300 a year.
We pay over 1,000.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Twice a year, $775.
Victor, everything where we live,
Everything's ridiculous up there.
the prices here are ridiculous. Anything you want to do, anything you do for your home. Look, we live, Alyssa and I were teachers. We're lucky that we ended up where we live. We were lucky. People were getting foreclosed on, and we got in here. But there are very wealthy people where we live, and they do magnificent things to their homes. We can't keep up with the Joneses, but we do okay. That's why we want to sell our investment and go to where we can get something that's what we consider magnificent.
Right at the doorstep to Disney World. Isn't it amazing that you
It's
can
amazing.
get it? You know, when I first came here to Winter Garden, and honestly, I didn't know about it till I was here for a couple of years. I knew about Windermere, and I loved that.
Right.
But then I drove through here, and I'm like going, oh my gosh. I mean, I was just really getting my feet wet. You know, because I was selling in Celebration, and I was selling in Davenport. The areas that when I got here, I was like, wow, this is amazing. But what really motivated the whole thing was that now they have much better shopping than they did. You know, and you know, so Corey's asking, are the bugs bigger there? And it costs so much more. No, the bugs in New York have more attitude. That's the problem.
The bugs in New York are harder to get rid of.
Well, if anybody has any other questions, Corey was asking if I know about Ipalatka, Florida, and I'm sorry, I do not know. When I don't know, if you wanted to move, anybody wanted to move to anywhere in Florida, but didn't know a good agent, I could do the research for you and find you a good agent. So someone who would be easy to work with. So if someone like, you know, I was just saying Tampa, Naples, Miami, we have agents there, you know, all over the place. So anyway, but so
the other thing we wanted to say is we really trust you, Victor. You're very honest.
Yeah, thank you.
And you really know everything about the houses.
I try to.
Yes.
I try to, but that's the one thing is you can't know everything, but I try to know as much as I can about it, So tonight I'm going to be launching a new video, which in the beginning is going to show my house being built. So if you go on about 8:55 and then a replay of the fireworks. So thank you, Alyssa and Neil.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate it
Victor.
immensely. If anybody's watching who wants to buy a home, even if it's in the distant future and you want to be a guest, go ahead. This saves me from going out in the public. So great way to stay at home and do some work. So thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm going to go and do our outro.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Making the dream of a Disney lifestyle a reality. I'm Victor Naraki. Contact me on Facebook at Naraki Realtor or my website, celebratingflorida.com. Thanks for watching Disney at your doorstep.